What's good, everybody? What's good, everybody? Welcome to another episode 17 of Mama Knows Best, Sorta. And I just want to tell my audience, I just had to hear, a
Oh
10
my
minute
God.
soliloquy about, this topic, why we chose the topic. I mean, it was just utterly ridiculous. So I'm calling on my team. I said that we were going to have her on for another three episodes after episode 20, that we were going to get rid of her. But after just all this prima donna act that she did before behind the
Prima
scenes,
donna.
I'm calling on my team right now to all hands on deck this week to replace Mama and bring in another Mama, right? I don't care if the Mama is Chinese. I don't care if the Mama is Vietnamese. I don't care if the Mama is Hispanic. I don't care if the Mama is white. No more Black Mamas. No more of my mother. Mother's Day weekend is over. I'm tired of you. I'm tired of doing this podcast. And
The
so
disrespect.
I'm calling on my team right now
Oh,
to replace my mother. I'm
I-
calling on my team right now in the audience to replace you.
Yeah, well, let's see how far you get with your broke team. I mean, y'all just got ideas, but where's the money that comes behind it? I wish you would. I wish you would. I wish you would.
Again, you're just so disrespectful. But today's episode, we're going to be talking about the state of hip hop. We're excited for what's to come.
I'm not. You are mad disrespectful. Mad
That-
disrespectful. I'm just
that-
telling you, mad.
That is my team. I don't know who kicks off that 30-second countdown. It's definitely not me. I'm on camera, so I don't know how that possibly pops up. But again, as I was saying in the introduction, today we'll be talking about the state of hip hop, fresh off of the beef of Champagne Poppy. Shout out my boy Drake and the fake activist Kendrick Lamar. But we'll be joined by my brother, somebody that is on the team, Mr. Andre Nelson.
Why come I never met him? On what team?
Again, we will be meeting. We pay Andre every first of the month. So
whoa. You said who pays Andre? Because I'm the only one who sends out money. So who pays Andre? I'm just saying.
Have your payment ready on June 1st. Okay. So we will be joined by my big brother later on, Andre. We went to high school together. He's very talented, has a lot of great things that he does, especially in the music field as well. So super excited to hear his perspective on the beef. Obviously, I have a Drake bias. He has a Kendrick bias. So that's going to be awesome to, have a little bit of banter on the back end of the podcast. But I will let my mother or mama kick off the first question.
No, I'm kicking off all the questions. I am going to be more of the facilitator on this episode, okay?
You are not the executive producer. So again, I'm going to let mama kick off the first question. Go ahead.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to let you have that one. Is hip hop negatively impacting the youth?
Absolutely. I think hip hop is destroying the youth. I think it's destroying especially Black culture, right? I think right now, and you can speak to this, mama, when you were playing hip hop or whatever, I'm not saying hip hop was always uplifting or a space where these need to be the ultimate role models. I'm not saying the children of the youth should have been following after 50 Cent or the children of the youth should have been following after Nelly, right? But what I'm saying is, even amongst the gangster rap scene, Biggie had songs that you can play with mama and grandma. Tupac had songs that you can play with mama, grandma, in the schools. Like, it was timeless music that had substance, right? And so it wasn't always necessarily gangster tied or trolling or whatever. Not trying to get to the next question, but while I say it's destroying or negatively impacting the youth, the music we have nowadays, it's like, what is it impacting? Where is the substance, right? Where are the artists that are uplifting? What are the artists that I can listen to in the car with my mother or my grandmother and feel comfortable, right? If I'm going out on a date with, Destiny or whatever, what artist am I going to be listening to with her in a car, respecting her as a woman, right? And so I think that, and I guess another point I'll make is a lot of people, especially when you're in those high school, middle school days or whatever, and I think even just being a young adult, a lot of people idolize, artists, athletes, especially in the Black community, right? And so you see some of these rappers, a lot of these rappers aren't standing for anything. So if you're idolizing smoking weed, idolizing, disrespecting and manipulating or over sexualizing women, right? Just chasing money and getting into the bag by scamming or trapping. How is that uplifting the youth?
I mean, I guess you pretty much answered the question. Does it negatively? Absolutely. I mean, but then it goes to, why is that person attracted to that type of music? Because there are so many different genres that we can all listen to. Of course, we automatically think, when you think of hip hop, Black, but we know for it to be global, it's not just the Black youth, it's white people listening to it. It's, the ages who you threaten to replace me by as a mama, I'm just saying. So you bring out a good point, but what my mind went to, which is totally off the subject, is that there clearly then is a niche out there for softer rap. I mean, if you kind of think about Will Smith, remember when he originally came out, he was not going to use any cuss words in his music. Was it popping? I mean, it kind of popped for a little bit, but what people are putting out is what is selling. So if we go back to the Will Smith era where we have clean rap, will it rock? Will people buy it? Or is it rap that's out there now that we just don't know, because it is overshadowed by the Lil Waynes, the Drake, the Cardi B's that is vulgar. So basically, it's almost like what sales is what people are putting out. I happen to be scrolling through Instagram, and I wish I would have noted the artist's name. She said, "Your woman is moral, but I'm a millionaire." So what does that say?
Oh, you're talking about Ruby Rose.
Okay, so you saw that. So she's basically saying, yeah, you got somebody over here living by the code, but she broke, or she not as popping as me. But this person is like, I'm a whore, or I'm a gangster rap, and I'm a millionaire. So that's what they're selling, and we are basically consuming.
Yeah. Right. So, now that's a great point. I'm glad you brought in that perspective, because that's the obvious point that, we are feeding, and as a consumers, in a sense, kind of controlling what we want to see by what we're streaming, what we're purchasing, the people that are attending the concerts, the people that are getting lit in the clubs. Shout out Sexy Red. But before we get into the last two questions, I have to bring my big brother, Mr. Andre Nelson, on here. What's good, Andre, man?
What's good?
Introduce yourself, man. First off, I want to touch on what you do for MKB, and then I want you to be able to talk about the multiple brands that you're doing and kind of touch on that, because we want to collab and do a couple of videos when we post and do stuff with you. So the floor is yours, Mr. Nelson.
Yeah. Hi, Mama. How you doing? It's good to finally meet you.
I know.
I'll start off with that because it started off with static. I just wanted to come off the bat respectful. No, but my name is Andre. With Mama Knows Best, Sorta. I act as, what would you say, the creative director, kind of, right? Started out just doing the little clips that we post on Instagram, but now I do a lot of the thumbnails for the project, as well as just anytime Christian needs a question to be answered, what we should do with something, I'm always there to help him. But aside from that, I work on my own brands, my own ventures. I'm a freelance graphic designer / creative director for a few projects. Obviously, I'm wearing the merch. It was purposeful though.
Stand up.
Yeah.
Stand up.
Yeah. All right.
Stand up, nigga.
No, so Saber is a project that I've been working on for a long time. It's a platform where artists can submit their work and it all be on even kilt. So an illustrator can be on the same platform as a musician, as a dancer, and vice versa. So just trying to make visual art and really all art respected on the same level as music. So that's what Saber is about. I also work on a few other freelance projects that we have to get all into. I'm excited about this music talk because as we were talking, as I was watching the show go down, I was actually about to post something on our respective platforms. So I'm excited to see what we're going.
Before we get into the topic, I did want to ask you this before we get Mama will kick off the last two questions. I definitely want to ask you, what is your why behind Saber, or maybe two-part question? Why you created Saber, and then why are you so passionate about Saber?
Okay, so that's a great question, or great two questions, obviously. So I created Saber, and the why behind Saber is really because I wanted a platform like that growing up. A lot of the things I do now in terms of mentorship or being there for someone, it's honestly because I had that growing up. So if I had a platform that would show me different types of art, different types of artists that I can attach myself to or reach out to, I would love that as a a youth growing up. So I just wanted to build a platform that not only I'd want to see like for my younger self, but for the people growing up right now, they can submit and be as impactful as the big guys. So with that, and then what was the other question? I kind of
What is your passion about? No, you answered that.
Yeah.
We're gonna clip that off. You're never
Okay.
gonna put that on Instagram. We're gonna
Perfect.
put it on Facebook. We're gonna put
Perfect.
it on TikTok because you have a phenomenal brand. It's super unique, and your perspective is unique. Your perspective might be wrong when you debate Sun, right? And we'll
Yeah.
get into that. Mama, go ahead, kick it off for these next two questions.
Right. I mean, it kind of seemed like these questions are somewhat biased because we already kind of talked about the first one. Has it negatively affect the youth? But then the second question is, has it changed for the worse? And you can, kind of answer it that way, or even if you've seen some good, I just want to know your input, your thoughts.
Well, I think hip hop, specifically the hip hop Christian was talking about, I think a lot of the impact that it's like going to isn't like black youth. Like it's going to like white kids. Like if you if you see like these trap like concerts when the lights turn on, a lot of the people saying the N word aren't black. So that if you consider that negatively affecting the youth, then there you go. But also I think that the highest buyers within hip hop are black women. So I think it needs to be
Really?
yeah. So it needs to be a question of it's like I'm gonna buy the flashy car because the ladies like the flashy car. Like if the ladies didn't care about what I drive, I'd be driving a hoopty. You know what I'm saying? So if the ladies didn't want to hear about shaking butts and popping. I don't know. I don't want to say too much. Shooting. That's what they want to hear. So
Mama is a known twerker, by the way.
Oh, okay. All right.
Mama is a known twerker. So let's put that. I agree with your point.
Okay, so I think it works to the sides of that. So I think the rappers are going to continue to say and do what sells, like Mama said, but the people buying it are women and young white kids. So
let's dig into that a bit. I'm kind of glad that you brought that up because I am clearly a black woman.
Yeah.
So Christian brought up like gangster rap, and then you have these different types of rap or what we consider hip hop. As a black woman, if I want something, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to purchase it. As a black man, we're going to bootleg it. We're going to Debo it. So we almost got to question where we're getting our statistics from. For example, I pay for YouTube TV, YouTube Premium. It's under my name as a black woman. But guess what? My black son uses my login. You see what I'm saying?
I have a few logins too, so I can't,
Right. So when you pulling that data, because I'm at a point in my life. I'm not about to be calling you. You give me your Disney Plus. You give me your Amazon Prime. No, whatever I want, I'm going to get it. So from that perspective, I can see it, but it almost makes me question that data because the black women are not the one being violent. And again, I'm also thinking about more of the gangster rap. But will we maybe out twerking, or maybe will we dress a certain way? Maybe we would do our hair a certain way based off what we see. So, we could take this as far as influence so many different ways, if that makes sense.
No, I agree. I
Yeah,
agree.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
And the only reason I muted you, Andre, because some of the feedback was given back, but you're good.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So no, you're good. But I would say this though, my as far as the point you're making, I agree with your point. I agree with Andre's point or whatever. I will push back on Andre from the standpoint of yes, this is kind of what people are wanting, specifically what black women are wanting. But shouldn't there, as artists, understand and respect the code of like substance, right? My favorite artist is Lil Baby. He has not a single song on his track that's going to be played 10 to 15 years from now. These new age artists, outside of Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole, and those are still guys been in the game for 10 plus years, right? These new age artists, the little babies, the Lils, Lil Baby, Little Dirk, Lil Yachty, Playboy Cardi, Lil Uzi. None of these artists are making timeless and substance music. And so it's like, if these are the guys that are selling the most, these are getting the quote unquote most women. But in 10 years from now, nobody is playing their legacy. How can I not say that it changed for the worse? When there was an era when I saw a Jay-Z, when there was a Lil Wayne, a Nelly, a 50 Cent, a Andre 3000. Not you, Andre 3000, right? When there were all these different artists at one time competing for that throne in all different varieties, all different high-level substance making artists. And nowadays, thank God Drake and Kendrick, had the beef. We're gonna get into that next. But the rest of the Lils sprinkled in with Playboy Cardi and crazy Kanye, none of this stuff is gonna matter 10 years from now. How can we sit up here and say it changed for the worse?
Yeah, I do agree, and I think that we're seeing that with like ticket sales in terms of tour dates. A lot of the tour dates are getting canceled because people are tired of the run-of-the-mill trap sound. You mentioned Lil Baby, and I want to double back to that. His biggest song is The Bigger Picture, the Bigger Than Black and White song. So,
Right.
and that's the one song that he probably has that has a bit of substance, the one song. So, and I feel like that video or that song is going to be like encapsulated for that era, like the little
COVID,
the COVID era.
COVID, Black Lives Matter, all
Definitely,
in one.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. So I think that when a genre becomes boring, that's when innovation happens. So that's all I'll say. You'll see the different influences start to create the next artist.
I love that.
yeah.
No, you got to say that again. I love that.
So when things get muddied down like the genres, that's when the best innovation comes because you're gonna need to change the course of music. Honestly.
Well,
So.
let's change the course of this podcast. We got to get into this Drake and Kendrick. I mean, what we doing?
Oh goodness, this
Yeah.
last question, which I don't particularly care about, but clearly the world cares about, is who won the beef? Or is the beef over? Between
The beef is over. I don't even want to hear you ask the question. I'm so eager to debate Mr. Nelson.
go
Right?
listen, y'all could have had that one.
Andres.
Yeah.
Actress over the E. You a nigga. You not Hispanic.
I can show you my ID.
I don't want to get in trouble. I am professional.
Yeah.
I give you your pronouns. I give you your ethnicity.
My pronouns.
I'm going to give you your pronouns. If you identify as whatever, I'm going to respect that. Okay. But
yeah.
back to the question. Kendrick won, right? But I think we're looking at it at a wrong angle. I think the people were waiting on the downfall of Drake, and I feel like we do that with anybody that's great, right? LeBron James. People are eager to see him lose, right? Any transcendent talent in any sector that we consume, right? Whether it's, entertainment, as far as like, certain actors or athletics, music in this way, right? So I think because Drake has been so dominant for the last 15-ish years and been really dominant, not really having a fall off, I think that has played tremendous into the eagerness of wanting to see him fall off, right? But I think this beef saved hip hop for at least the next year, year and a half. I think this is forcing people and artists to get back to penmanship, right? To understand, to appreciate, and to expand your music vernacular, right? And so for me, I'm tired of people talking about, oh, this is the downfall of the end of Drake versus saying, hey, yes, Drake lost the beef. I'm not going to debate that. But hey, he entered the ring with another heavyweight fighter that he didn't have to fight to build his brand, but he did that for the sport of hip hop. And I got people like Nesto who want to get on here. I'll beat yourself, Nesto. I got people like Nesto. They want to talk about he's Canadian. Want to talk about that he's light skinned. Stop it. Okay, so this topic hurts because I am a Drake fan. I love Drake, right? And I would give up, like LeBron James, I would give up not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 of my cousins for Drake to win this beef versus Kendrick. But he lost, right? So to wrap it up, my point is, I just feel like we just need to change the perspective of like, hey, these guys delivered a moment of hip hop that we needed, and Drake didn't have to enter this beef, and he did, but he gets crucified for it. So it's like
he did it to himself. He did it to himself. He did it to himself, man. And look. Before I start, can you look at me first? Can you take that cape off? You caping. You caping for Drake. And look, I love Drake. I love Drake and I love Kendrick. If I'm being honest with you, I didn't like Kendrick's last record. Maybe I'm just not old enough for it. Maybe I just haven't lived a lot of life. I've never cheated on my girl. I've never done the things that he was describing in that video or in the album. So I didn't really relate to it. There are a couple songs that I still listen to, but ultimately, that record wasn't for me. Now this beef, that's a different story. That's a whole different story, right? It started off like very calm and hold on. I got a note. Hold on. Give me 1 second. All right. I'm back to it. So, this beef, like, we were just talking about how hip hop has gotten muddy and the sound is diluted, basically. And this had so many more eyes on hip hop that, people who didn't even care about hip hop, I was showing my mom the songs. Like, I was like, listen to what they say. And she's like, why are they, don't they got enough money? Like, why are they beefing? Right? So ultimately, I do think you're correct, Christian, in the fact that oftentimes in our culture, we do like to tear down the person who's at the top or try to find flaws or chinks in their armor. But ultimately, when it comes to hip hop, when it comes to hip hop beef, that is basically the purpose of it. It is to call out. It is to have the audience second guess who we perceive these people are. Because before the whole Kendrick, before the Future record, Drake seemed untouchable. Honestly, he seemed like the president. He would have the motorcade. He came to Kansas City. He was at the bar down the street from my house, shut it down for a whole week while he was here.
As he should.
As he should, right? But sometimes it takes somebody like us to bring him back down to earth. No, I'm just joking. But dark skinned niggas are up 10,000%. But back to the matter at hand. I think that with Drake being such a big figure and a big machine, like the entity of Drake is such a big machine, the entity of Drake, it's only natural that people will have resentment like his peers will have resentment, right? Me personally, a lover of music, a lover of hip hop, I just want to see the better, who to come out on top. If this was an alternate reality where Kendrick got bodied by Drake, I'd be saying Kendrick got bodied by Drake, and I'd have to go in my hole and say light skinned niggas up, right? But Tyrese and them up. You know what I'm saying? Like, we up, right? So I think hip hop is in a great space. I'm excited to see what each respective artist drop, and ultimately we won. Like, the audience won because with Kendrick decopywriting the song, a lot of reaction pages were able to get thousands upon thousands of views and make money off that. So it goes to show, like, these people are still people, and ultimately hip hop's in a great space. So that's how I feel about it.
No, I completely agree, but you've exposed yourself as a liar because Saber was definitely pro Kendrick platform. The 1,000 podcasts that you helped produce along with MKB, that light skinned brother, Mike, you pissed me off. But,
who's the light skinned brother that pissed you off?
I can't think of his name. I watched him the Yada Yada podcast.
Oh, you're talking about Joe. He is Hispanic. He is Hispanic.
Hey, I'm sorry, my Hispanic brother.
He sound black though. Right. If you, because he's on the radio, so if you hear him, you're like, oh, okay, and then you see him in person, you're like,
good. Yeah, he's really good. So but no, I agree.
He's definitely a Kendrick stan though. He's definitely a Kendrick stan. But if you listen to the podcast when it was only the tailor-made freestyle and the other one, push-ups.
Yeah.
Like, I was saying Drake is winning. Like, he's winning. He's coming out on top. I thought the AI Tupac and the AI Snoop Dogg was corny. That's not,
that was corny.
Like, why are we using the voice of somebody who's alive, right? Just talk to him. I feel like Drake's biggest flaw in this beef was he thought that once he brought personal things into the beef that Kendrick was going to play fair. So that's the first thing, right? And he wasn't. He was never going to play fair once you brought your family and the kids into it. And then two, he thought that he could make memes out of this. He wasn't taking it seriously. He thought that he could just treat Kendrick like he did Meek Mill. He thought that it was a dub. And when he dropped Family Matters and Kendrick comes and drops Euphoria, was it Euphoria?
No,
it was Meet the Grams. Right on top of it, it's like, what can you do? I don't think because Family Matters is 3 songs in one. So I don't think Drake recorded the amount of songs that Kendrick did in the time that he had. We could see who was actually doing the push-ups in the times that they had. Drake wasn't doing the research, he wasn't doing the push-ups, and ultimately nobody cared because Kendrick, he made every type of rap song you would want in this beef. He made a slow melodic, he made an upbeat melodic, and he made a dance song that's going to be playing until HBCU time comes around, and they're going to be playing it on the trombones and the tubas. So
Andre, we've heard enough. Mama,
okay, all right.
Mama, do you even care about the beef?
Not really. I give my 2 cents in about 30, 45 seconds. Like, I love I'm a whole entity over here. And it's so funny. I tickled when you said that word because that's what I've been talking to Son and the team. I'm like, I'm a whole entity. I don't have time for the small stuff. So have I seen stuff come up? Yes. I'm like,
you live in Riverview, Florida. You don't live in Miami. You do small stuff.
Look, that's a suburb of Tampa. Okay. Like, I got, businesses I ain't got time, but it just as listening to you all, cause I really don't care. And I'm tickled because Christian said it should be a difference between a 20-year-old woman, 30-year-old woman, and a 40-year-old woman. I don't care about the beef, but it made me think about old school battle. And the reason why I didn't really put much energy in it because nowadays of hip hop, when there is a beef, which again, we refer to it back in our day, a battle, a lot of times it may end up in violence. So back then, when it was a battle, which I love, both of you brought out, is whoever can tell the best story, your storytelling. You know what? I'm here to battle. And then, you know what? You got me. But in return, I'm going to go back and I'm going to perfect my craft. So the next time we come to the battlefield, so it was all about love and strengthening each other. And then, like you said, growing in your skill. But now I don't look at it that way. It's just mess, but from listening
Right. Right.
to the both of you all, it, hopefully, I mean, I think I saw an article about Drake security or somebody got shot. Hopefully that
Hold on.
didn't.
You said 30 to 45 seconds. It's
Right.
a minute 15.
So, okay. So just to tie it up is because we have had several podcasts about social media and hip hop, how it does affect our youth. And so they do have to be mindful in regards. Of course, we want you to be artists. We want you to be creative. But when it crosses the line, because a lot of times we have people that are cowards, they don't know how to lose a battle, still shake the person's hand, go back and perfect it. It's, you want to shoot this or fight, it's just, so I personally try not to get off into that. And with them knowing that they do have that influence, it's, you don't want them to have the responsibility, but indirectly they do have the responsibility, and hopefully they're using it in a more positive way. All right, I'm done. I did 50 seconds.
Yeah. But no, that's it. Andre, I want to thank you, man, for coming on here, man. You gave a great perspective. We're gonna plaster you all over our page as well as that. And we Kendrick won, Drake lost. I'm Kendrick. My mother is Drake. So
I like both, but y'all made it a light skin, dark skin. You know me, I'm dark skin, so dark skin in the building. Stand
Let's
up.
go. Let's go. Let's go.
Let go.
That's the end of our podcast. Bye.